All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Wes here. Today we have some sad news to talk about regarding Hogwarts Legacy. We just got our first deep dive of the gameplay, which is looking promising, and I think it answered most of the questions I personally had with the game. It did raise some concerns that I'll discuss in this video. Along with that showcase, we also got some news that recently leaked, which published every trophy that will be featured in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this information was revealed extremely early, which is never a good thing. I'll be avoiding any major spoilers, so you're good to keep watching, as I personally don't want it spoiled myself. Along with that, we have some sad news regarding the highly anticipated Ravenclaw companion that will likely disappoint some fans. Lastly, I'm going to talk about why I think Hogwarts Legacy was delayed and whether or not you should be concerned. So be sure to stick around until the end of the video for more details about that. Real quick, guys, if you want a chance to win a PS5 and a copy of Hogwarts Legacy or a game of your choice, all you have to do to enter is subscribe to my channel, comment your Twitter handle, follow me on Twitter, and tweet me proof that you're subscribed by tagging my Twitter handle at WesNemo. The winner will be announced at 80k subs. And a quick note, I will not be reaching out to the winner via the comment section. One of the most anticipated games of a generation for Harry Potter fans like myself is just under 3 months away. Developer Avalanche Software has ripped off the covers and delivered us a gameplay showcase that answered a ton of questions we all had, including how the combat will be, what the UI and HUD will look like. In the showcase, we also got to see a first look at some of the areas of Hogwarts Castle that I must say, the level of detail that went into this world building is incredible. The fact that the windows on the castle changed their design based on the seasons alone proves that our time in Hogwarts will be magical. Overall, the gameplay was pretty solid. The way the combat system works is exactly what I hoped for, and it almost feels like a well choreographed dance routine if the combos are performed correctly. However, after seeing the gameplay, I do have some concerns. For instance, the NPCs of the game feel like they're pretty robotic and kind of lifeless. The dialogue and voice acting is great, but I almost feel like what turns me off is the facial animations and motion capture. It's worth mentioning that the game is still being played on a dev kit and on an early build of the game, so I'm willing to give them a pass for now, as it could have been one of the smaller reasons for the delay. But they look fine enough that I'm sure the devs were willing to make some sacrifices to not hold the game up from releasing. However, one of the NPCs that they crushed was Peeves. The scene of him sliding down the staircase railing is such a Peeves thing to do. So maybe they focused on nailing the characters that mattered the most to the story rather than the side characters, but either way, the game isn't out yet, so the delay likely improved things, but we'll have to wait and see once we get more gameplay. Now, before I talk about my biggest concern regarding the gameplay, let's talk about the recent leak of the trophies for Hogwarts Legacy. If you weren't on Twitter the night of the showcase, there was an article that was published that revealed every trophy in this game, apart from the hidden trophies. Now, we're going to avoid discussing any story spoilers, but this leak does have implications that we're going to talk about vaguely. This leak is reportedly based on the Epic Games PC achievements that went live early, which gave us the information that Hogwarts Legacy will have a total of 46 trophies, give or take some of the hidden ones. The PS5 and PS4 trophies are likely going to change and be replaced with silver and gold trophies though, so just keep that in mind. Overall, we got the trophies leaked, which is way early than all of us expected. There are some major story spoilers and implications out there, so just be careful whenever you go on social media, especially looking up the Hogwarts Legacy hashtag. According to the revealed trophies, it's looking like to platinum Hogwarts Legacy, you'll need to do multiple playthroughs. Some trophy challenges require you to play and complete challenges as students in all 4 of the houses. It also doesn't look like this list will have any difficulty related trophies, so if you're a story player only, platinum is a lot more obtainable. Either way, I wouldn't consider going for platinum in this game unless it's confirmed that there will be some sort of replayability factor outside of just playing the game in another house. Next up, we do have some pretty sad news, especially those of you that have been eagerly awaiting the confirmation of the Ravenclaw companion. Unfortunately, the leaked trophy list in its current form confirmed only 3 companions that will be featured in Hogwarts Legacy. The current companions are as followed: Natsai Onai, Sebastian Sallow, and Poppy Sweeting. Now, that's not to say we won't ever get a Ravenclaw companion. It could be that they are in the main storyline, they just don't have a trophy listed because they aren't substantial enough of a character to warrant one, or we'll have a Ravenclaw companion featured in an upcoming expansion. But the most likely scenario is that the Ravenclaw companion is a part of the 20 or so trophies that are currently hidden. Now, this is a normal thing, as the devs don't want the entire game spoiled by players checking the game's trophy list during their playthrough. So don't give up hope, Ravenclaw fans, until Avalanche confirms that there will not be a Ravenclaw companion. It's still possible. One of the best parts of video games is when the level of detail and immersion is so feature rich that it almost makes you feel like you're actually in the game world. Now, while I think Hogwarts Legacy has done just that, one of the ways the modern game developers increase the level of immersion of the worlds they build is in the form of mini games and side content. For example, in The Witcher 3, one of the best games of last generation, there was an entire card game called Gwent built where you could play the game, build and manage your deck, and and even feature other opponents you could face that are found in the game world. With Hogwarts Legacy, there are so many opportunities the developer could have done with side content that they unfortunately just didn't. It's also not to say that the absence of side content makes or breaks the game. Like The Witcher 3 would still be a phenomenal game without Gwent, but since it was, it elevated the entire experience in immersion even more. One of the biggest games at Hogwarts in the Wizarding world is none other than Quidditch. Well, we got the news a few months ago that Quidditch wouldn't be playable in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, this was a letdown at the time for many, but it's understandable that they couldn't add it to the game. During the gameplay showcase for Hogwarts Legacy, we got the disappointing news that many games like Wizard's Chess and Gobstones also won't be in the game, leaving us with almost no mini games to play at Hogwarts, which they really missed the mark on. I can understand how difficult it would be to have a fully working playable Quidditch minigame, but Wizard's Chess and Gobstone seems a lot more attainable that they didn't do. So if you expected to enter Hogwarts Castle and throughout your time at Hogwarts play fan favorite mini games like Quidditch, Wizard's Chess, and Gobstones, it's just not going to be possible. It'll be featured in the game world and the narrative, and I'm sure we'll see it in the game itself, but they will not be playable. Moving on, we have an aspect that almost feels like a given to include in a game about Hogwarts, and that is the house points. So if you were hoping to grind for your house to get the house cup, unfortunately that's also not possible. They have the house hourglasses section outside of the Great Hall, but in the gameplay showcase it was confirmed that house points will not be in Hogwarts Legacy. This part really doesn't make sense to me. The foundation is literally right in front of them with the house hourglasses. The dev also confirmed that they make nods to the house points in the narrative, but they could have easily tied the side quests and activities during your time at Hogwarts to the house points. This is a pretty significant oversight in my opinion, and it could have made for quite a fantastic dynamic. Now, the developers confirmed that they chose not to have these mechanics in the game as they had to decide and prioritize what to focus their efforts on. This isn't an ideal scenario, but if it ensures that the overall game is a fully fleshed out experience, then I am perfectly fine with it. Honestly, this gives the devs more opportunities to add them in a hopeful sequel. Moving right along, let's talk about one of the reasons that Hogwarts Legacy likely got delayed. The gameplay showcase kind of confirmed my suspicion, and it has to do with the performance of the game. The gameplay we got in this showcase looked pretty rough. The overall visuals and details were great, but the performance has raised a red flag for me. Now, I could be wrong, but the gameplay looked very 30 FPS. It was being played on a PS5 dev kit, so it's also worth stating that it might not be representative of the launch version of the game, but there is no denying that it looked 30 FPS, and in some instances there was some frame dropping, so I am just a little bit nervous, especially after the debacle that was Gotham Knights being capped at 30 FPS on PS5, which was also published by Warner Brothers Games. I think the concern of performance is valid, which could have been the reason for the delay. The gameplay showcase video on the Hogwarts Legacy account was uploaded in 4K at 30 FPS, so the frame rate issues could have been due to how the game was recorded and rendered for that matter. In the PlayStation blog from May of this year, it was confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy will have both a fidelity 4K mode, so 4K at 30 FPS, and a performance mode that will likely be at 1440p at 60 FPS, or the 4K locked at 60. If that's the case, I'm eager to see how well the performance mode is. I think God of War Ragnarok is the gold standard for graphic options, as I'm currently playing the game in 1440p at 120 FPS with HDR on, which is absolutely bonkers. I'm really hoping that I'm reading too much into it. Couple that with the fact that the video was recorded in 30 FPS and rendered at 30, it's likely the case that everything is fine. But with the track record of Warner Bros. Published games, it is a potential cause for concern. This very well could have been the problem that they had, which forced the delay, as well as bugs and glitches to work out prior to the game launch. But it's hard to speculate either way. I'm sure that whatever happened, the more time the game had in the oven is only going to make it into a better game. And I really hope that Hogwarts Legacy is in a state the developers are proud of the game, as it really does seem like a passion project. Despite the decisions they had to make, I am still very much ready to get my hands on the game. I've been waiting for another Harry Potter Wizarding World game for a long time, and I want it to be perfect. It's gotta be perfect. I'd even be fine if they delayed it again, if that means that we'll get a better game. But only time will tell. If the launch happens and it's not up to standards, I really hope the devs have a time turner so they can go back in time and get the game right. If it does end up not being very good at launch, or what if they already did that and this is the devs preventing that situation? Unfortunately, only time will tell, and when it comes to time turners, that's the only thing that matters. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the gameplay. Do you disagree with me? What aspects of Hogwarts Legacy are you most excited for? Let me know down below. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on, and don't forget to take advantage of the PS5 giveaway at the start of the video. I'll announce the winner at 80,000 subscribers. Thank you all for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.